Hello, everyone. Welcome to the channel. My name is Shaneria, and this is Talking Crime. On today's video, we have a reaction video. But before we get started, let me break this down to you. If you are watching and have not joined the family by subscribing, hit that subscribe button. If you are new here, hit the subscribe button. If you are returning, hello, how are you? Let's get started on today's reaction because I definitely don't like to waste time. Let's get started.
Imagine you and your sister-in-law have kids 5 months apart, and you guys thought it was going to be like the most amazing experience because your kids are going to be growing up together. You guys went through pregnancy together. Like, it was just going to be amazing. But it ends up being a fucking nightmare because people constantly compare you guys as mothers and your kids. I have a story. So this story is about a mom who says that her and her sister-in-law had kids 5 months apart. They both had little girls, and her daughter was the first grandchild. The first 5 months of her having her were amazing. Like, everything was fine. She wasn't getting any negative feedback. Her in-laws were super supportive. Like, all the family was good. But as soon as her sister-in-law had her baby, which is also a baby girl, everything changed. She says that every time they were all together, it was constant comparison. First, it started with them. Like, they would compare, like, who's breastfeeding, who isn't, who has their baby on a schedule, who doesn't, whose baby's doing, like, not so fuzzy, who isn't. And keep in mind, they're 5 months apart. So obviously, they're not the same. Like, a baby that's 5 months versus a newborn is completely different. But yet they were comparing, like, oh, your baby didn't do that when he was small, or you were struggling with that baby when he was that small and she's not, like, that kind of stuff. Then it progressed into, like, physically comparing their children. Like, they would say, oh, this baby has such beautiful hair, such full hair, the other one doesn't. The other one doesn't look like they're gonna have nice hair. Oh, one is lighter, the other one's not. The other one looks like they have color eyes, the other one doesn't. This one looks like our family, this one doesn't look like none of our family. Like, it looks nothing like us. This one looked exactly like my son, this one doesn't. Like, it was just constant back and forth. And again, her baby's 5 months, so she's growing, she's getting a little chubby, she's changing, and her hair's kind of falling, and they're just like, why is she looking like that? Why is she changing? Like, something's not right. You're not feeding her right, you're feeding her too much. Like, just constant be negative. And with her sister-in-law, they're not being like that. They're like gravitating to her baby, and it's because that baby looks a certain way that fits what the fuck they want, I guess, and she feels it. They are Hispanic, and she says that she's been around this kind of things before, where some Hispanic people kind of don't know how to not say rude things. Sometimes they just speak their mind without being considerate, and her family does the same way. But ever since she got pregnant, she had a conversation with her mom and her parents and her side of the family, and told them, like, that she did not want none of that shit and that she wasn't going to tolerate it. So now she just needed to have that conversation with her mother-in-law, which her husband was supposed to have, and he hasn't. So she doesn't know what to do, because she says it has literally affected her so much emotionally. She says that they compare bodies. Like, they literally compare her and her sister-in-law's, like, snapback. Like, they say that she's not healing faster like the other one. The other one got her body back right away, she hasn't. She gained more weight. Like, it's just a lot. And her response to all of this is just to step back. Like, she's just not going around anymore. She prefers to stay home, and obviously that involves her baby not being around them that much. And her husband have been arguing, because he's like, she's my baby too, like, I want her to be around my family. And she's like, how am I supposed to allow my child to be around your family when they're constantly disrespecting me by saying the shit they say? So her husband does not understand, because he thinks like she's just being dramatic. And her sister-in-law, obviously, they're cool, but she's not really defending her because it doesn't benefit her. Like, she's getting all the praise, so she doesn't fucking even care. So she just doesn't know what to do. She doesn't know if she's being dramatic. She doesn't know if she's just supposed to deal with it. She doesn't know if maybe it's gonna go away and they're just being like that because they're new grandparents. Like, she just doesn't know. So she's asking us, what should she do? First of all, fuck no. Yes, Hispanic families are like this, okay? And we're like this about a lot of things. We're constantly talking shit. We're constantly comparing each other. And I'm pretty sure most most of us have grown up at least being compared to our siblings or our cousins or someone. Like, that's just what parents do, and they think it's like motivating when it's not. But comparing kids, like babies, that's a whole other shit, okay? And it's super disrespectful. I love the fact that nowadays most parents set so much boundaries that our old school parents don't know how to like comprehend, because they don't know what the fuck that is. So my advice to you is, I always say and firmly believe that people treat you exactly how they feel about you. So if your mother-in-law is treating you like shit and she's putting you down, I'm just gonna say she probably doesn't like you, okay? And it's okay, because a lot of people's mother-in-laws don't like them. They tolerate them because they have to, because they're their, kid's wife, but she probably doesn't like you. And that's okay, because that shit could change. But I feel like that's how people show you exactly how they feel about you, is in moments like this. Like, life-changing moments really bring out the worst or best, out of people around you. So I think you're doing perfectly fine by stepping back. It should be your husband's responsibility to have your back, and if he hasn't done so, it's fine. Let him, because he's gonna have to deal with the consequences either way. But as a grown-up, as a woman, I would have a conversation with my mother-in-law and let her know, like, hey, just like you had it with your side of the family, I would do the same thing with your mother-in-law. Just pull her aside and be like, hey, just letting you know, I feel this and this and this. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I am gonna pull back because it's not good for my mental health, and it's not good for me and your son's relationship. So either you guys respect my boundaries, or I'm just not gonna be around. And if they really care about you and your husband and your child, they will change. It might take some time, but trust me, they will change. But I have noticed this, that like I said, a lot of grandparents, it's very hard for them to adjust to like the new generation of parents, because we don't fuck with that. They don't fuck with none of that. And it's very, very damaging to a child to grow up like that. Something that they don't understand. Like, it's like sometimes they don't believe in traumas. They don't believe like that all that shit has a consequence, and we do, because we've been through it. So you are your child's advocate. You are your own advocate. So always stand on how you feel. Speak your mind, and it's okay. It's so hard to be a mom, not just because we get judged by our family, but because we get judged by everybody. Like, the world has this like high standard of what a mom is supposed to do, and we're supposed to be like superwoman, and we're supposed to be able to handle everything and not be sensitive, not be dramatic, and be like the most mature and responsible, and have all this self-control, and teach our kids all this. Like, it's hard, but look, the only thing that matters is that you're good, and that your child knows that you always and will always defend them and have their back. Okay, that is the most important thing. So fuck everybody.
You protecting your child is the most important thing, and your child needs to know that regardless. Right. This is what I got to say about this situation. Now, generation after generation, traumas have been passed down. So, yes, I do believe that this family know what type of trauma it leads, but don't care, because it's been a generational curse, a generational pass down, where certain families like compare each other, like compare kids, compare this person to this person. Like, it happens in any family. I feel like in certain cultures, it just happens, right? But these older people know what kind of effect it does on you. Like, they understand. They definitely understand the trauma and like the low self-esteem or whatever it can cause. They understand. They just don't care, and they're gonna continue to do it. Now, I do think that his parents don't like her at all, because if they did like her, they would respect her, especially the mother, knowing she's a female and having to deal with the same type of issues even when she had children. So I just feel like sometimes people do things because self-inflicted. You know what I'm saying? Like, basically, it was done to them, and now they're doing it to somebody else, even though they knew how it made them feel then. It's not okay. It's not. And it's okay for you to set boundaries. And it's okay for you to talk to your husband and be like, look, if you don't do it, I'm going to do it. Because at this point, it's messing up my household. Me and you arguing now about this situation when we shouldn't even be arguing about the situation. I feel like your husband needs to talk to his family. He needs to tell them what it's doing to you and also what he feel like it might do to your child as your child get older, because children gravitate with like stuff like that. Like it sticks to them and it hurts them and bother them in the future. So I think your husband needs to stop arguing with you and face the facts that his family is doing something wrong and address them on the whole situation. Now, pulling your mother-in-law to the side and being like, look, this is what it does to me and how it makes me feel. And until y'all can respect my feelings and my boundaries as far as me and my child, I don't feel good coming around. Like, I want to keep a positive environment at my home and yours. So I will stay away until y'all learn that this is not okay. Not okay at all. Don't bite your tongue because you are going back and forth with your husband. If you feel some type of way, it's your feelings and it's okay. Speak to your husband. Y'all gonna continue to argue if he don't set boundaries with his family or you don't pull his mother to the side and set boundaries. But she will, trust me, be mad at you before she be mad at her son. So just, be aware that it might get ugly before it gets good. But at least you spoke up. You guys, drop down in the comment section what you think about this story. Don't forget to like, comment, and definitely subscribe to this channel. Subscribe and join the family. You guys, have a blessed day. Peace.